Hey, if you're a DevOps engineer, you already know that cloud security isn't just some item on a checklist. It's everything. It's foundational. So today, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know, from the big ideas right down to the code you're pushing every day. All right, let's dive in.
You know, the absolute magic of the cloud is just how fast you can move. I mean, you can spin up an entire application stack with a few lines of code, probably before your coffee even gets cold. But that incredible power, that speed, and that simplicity, well, that's also its greatest vulnerability.
And there it is. That's the flip side. Because for every easy way to build something, there's an equally easy way to get it disastrously wrong. A single unchecked box, a default setting you forgot about, an overlooked permission. These aren't small mistakes. They are the wide open doors that attackers just love to walk right through.
Yeah, forget that Hollywood image of some hacker in a dark room furiously typing. The reality of most cloud breaches? It looks a lot more like this. Simple stuff. Misconfigured access, credentials left out in the open, networks that are way too permissive. These are basic, preventable mistakes. The whole security battlefield has completely changed.
So that brings us right to our first big idea. In the cloud, security isn't about physical locks on a server room door anymore, not at all. It's a game of configuration, of permissions, and of code. Your entire infrastructure is defined by software, and that means your security has to be defined by software too.
Okay, so who's on the hook for all this then? There's this really dangerous assumption out there that once you move to the cloud, security is just the provider's problem. And let me tell you, that assumption is what leads to breaches. So let's be crystal clear about what part of this is your job. This right here is the fundamental division of labor. It's called the shared responsibility model. Think of it this way. Your cloud provider, whether it's AWS, Azure, Google, they are responsible for security of the cloud. That means the physical data centers, the hardware, the core networking fabric. But you are responsible for security in the cloud. That's your data, who can access it, and how your applications and networks are configured.
You just can't outsource security. It's not a thing you can just hand off. It is a partnership, and you control the most critical pieces. So with that responsibility firmly in mind, let's talk about how to actually build your defenses.
All right, now for the practical part. If you're going to build a fortress in the cloud, these are your walls, these are your gates, and these are your guards. This is where the real technical work begins. We can pretty much break it all down into these three main pillars. First, identity and access. Basically, who gets the keys to the kingdom. Second, network security. This is all about building the walls to keep the bad guys out. And third, data protection. How you secure the crown jewels themselves. Let's start with the most important one.
Okay, listen up. If you remember only one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this. Identity and access management, or IAM, is the #1 source of cloud security vulnerabilities. Period. Getting this wrong isn't just a mistake, it's like leaving your front door wide open with the keys still in the lock.
So how do you get it right? Well, it all starts with the principle of least privilege. Never, ever grant more permission than is absolutely necessary for a job. You should use temporary roles instead of permanent user keys, avoid long-lived credentials like the plague, rotate your keys regularly, and for any human user, multi-factor authentication is not optional, it's absolutely essential.
Next up, your network. Your default mindset here should be to build walls, not open doors. Your most sensitive resources, like your databases, should be living in a private subnet, totally isolated from the public internet. The goal is to shrink your attack surface down to the absolute bare minimum. And finally, we've got to protect the data itself. Encryption is completely non-negotiable. This means encrypting data when it's just sitting there in a database or a storage bucket, we call that at rest, and also when it's moving across the network, that's in transit. You have to assume an attacker might get past your other defenses. Encryption is your last and strongest line of defense.
So, we've covered the foundational controls, but in a fast-moving DevOps world, how do you actually implement and manage all this stuff at scale? Well, the answer is you treat security like a feature that you build directly into your code and your pipelines.
This is the whole idea behind what we call shifting left. Instead of waiting for a security team to find a problem right before you launch, which is way too late, you build security into the process from the very first line of code. It stops being a gate that blocks you and starts being a guardrail that keeps you safe.
When your infrastructure is defined in code, using tools like Terraform or CloudFormation, you can enforce security in some incredibly powerful ways. You can scan for mistakes automatically, you can enforce policies before anything even gets deployed, and you can make sure that every single change is reviewed and approved, just like you would with your application code.
And speaking of code, let's talk about a golden rule. I honestly cannot say this emphatically enough. Never, ever, ever commit secrets like API keys or passwords or credentials directly into your source code repository. It is one of the most common and most devastating ways that credentials get leaked.
So the right way to handle secrets is with a dedicated secrets manager, something like AWS Secrets Manager or HashiCorp Vault. These tools basically act like a secure digital vault. They allow your applications to request the credentials they need at runtime without you ever having to expose them in your code. They can even handle automatic rotation for you, which is just a massive security win. Think about it. Your CI/CD pipeline is a super privileged process. It has direct access to deploy to your production environment. That makes it a prime target for attackers. You have to lock it down. Restrict what it can do, scan everything that goes through it for vulnerabilities, and log every single action it takes. So we've covered the tools, we've covered the tactics, but honestly, none of it really works without the right mindset. This final section is all about the principles that should be guiding every single decision you make. In a dynamic, fast-moving cloud environment, you just can't rely on manual checks. It's impossible. There are way too many resources, too many changes happening all the time. The only way you can possibly maintain security is to automate it. Automate your policy checks, automate your scanning, and automate your alerts. And to wrap things up, let's just run through the mistakes that we see people make over and over and over again. Avoid publicly accessible storage buckets. Never expose a database directly to the internet. Keep those secrets out of your code. Lock down your access rules with the absolute minimum permissions needed. And always, always have detailed audit logging turned on. If you just avoid these 5 pitfalls, you are way ahead of the curve. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Is your next deployment secure by design? Or is it just one tiny misconfiguration away from being the next headline? The responsibility is yours. And the challenge is to build security into every single thing you do.